Imagine going through your day without realizing you're hungry until all of a sudden you feel dizzy, or not noticing your heart starting to race until you're basically on the edge of a meltdown. For many, these internal signals guide you smoothly throughout your life. But for autistic people, this hidden sense is often lost in translation. Let's explore interoception. Welcome, my stars of Orion. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Orion Kelly, that autistic guy. I'm all about providing validation and support for autistic people and their loved ones. Oh, by the way, yeah, I know through this video I'm going to say a lot of long words very badly. I'm sorry in advance. I really struggle with pronunciation. Let's dive into a fascinating topic that many know little about: interoception, also known as the eighth sense. Interoception is all about tuning into signals within our body. These internal signals give us crucial information about our needs, our emotions, even our health, well-being. But what happens when this sense is out of sync? So what is interoception? Well, it's the eighth sense. It goes beyond the traditional senses we all know about. While most senses pick up information from the outside world, interoception is an inner awareness that helps us notice and interpret signals from inside our own body. Now, this sense lets us pick up on things like hunger, thirst, tiredness, even nervousness. Through interoception, we can feel our heart race, goosebumps forming, maybe busting you out of the toilet. But it also alerts us to things like muscle tension, nausea, pain, even sexual attraction or arousal. So how does interoception work? Well, it happens thanks to a beautiful network of specialized sensory receptors located throughout our organs, including our heart, lungs, stomach, bladder, skin, our eyes. These receptors send signals to a region in our brain called the insula, which processes information about the body's internal environment. It then tells us how our body feels, which gives us information about our emotions. So if your heart's pumping, it could be a signal that you're excited or you're anxious, you're scared, angry, right? If your muscles are tense, it might mean you're stressed or tired or agitated. By noticing these signals, interoception helps us understand our emotions based on what's happening in our body. It's essential for maintaining our overall health and well-being. When we sense, process, and respond to these internal signals, it helps our body stay in a balanced state, known as, I think, homeostasis. Homeostasis. Being aware of these internal cues plays a huge role. Recognizing that you have a pumping heart means you've got anxiety and you need to take a break. Realizing you're dehydrated can remind you you've got to drink more water, my friend, before you feel really horrible. It supports a sense of emotional and physical connection, helping us maintain well-being and resilience throughout each day. Let's talk about interoception and autism. So some research shows that autistic people experience differences in interoception more often than non-autistic people. Just like how many autistic people can be sensitive to stimuli, external stuff. We can be hyper-aware. We overly experience things, or hypo-aware. It's like an under-experience of the sensory stuff, of our body's internal cues. For someone who is hyper-aware, bodily sensations might actually feel much more intense. And for those that are hypo-aware, you might barely even notice signals your body's sending you. So what does that mean? Autistic people will have trouble accurately sensing signals from our own body. We might feel these signals too strongly or have difficulty telling one feeling apart from the other. An example could be, it might be hard to figure out if your current discomfort is due to hunger, anxiety, agitation, or something completely different. Let's talk about the challenges. So when interoception is affected, recognizing basic needs, like we've talked about, hunger, thirst, need to go to the toilet, are really challenging. This means some autistic people may eat or drink irregularly, struggle with dehydration, even have difficulty getting to the bathroom on time. This is, wow, hard to relate. These challenges can lead to things like constipation and other health issues, gut stuff, basic bodily needs not being met consistently by you autistic person. I'm the same. Okay, let's go through challenges. Emotional regulation. Most people rely on interoception to understand and manage their emotions. If someone feels tense or notices that their heart's pumping, they probably realize they're stressed and I should take a break. I should breathe deeply and try to calm down. Well, for autistic people, this connection isn't necessarily so clear. You might not notice these internal signals right away or ever. And you might actually struggle to connect that to the specific emotion which would trigger a need that you should do to fix it. Does that make sense? I completely relate to that. So yeah, it's actually possible for us to look completely calm until all our unmet needs and emotions pile up. Then we can have emotional responses, shutdowns, meltdowns, dysregulation. That's exactly the autistic experience. Survival responses are being used because we've skipped the step of understanding the internal signals sent to us. Another challenge is with introspection, not interoception, and alexithymia. Interoception also plays a big role in introspection, the ability to reflect on, understand our own thoughts, feelings. For autistic people, this introspective process can be more challenging because it's harder to interpret bodily signals and connect them with mental and emotional states. Alexithymia, often linked to interoceptive differences. So if internal signals are misinterpreted or go unnoticed, it becomes difficult to label the emotions attached to them and understand how we're feeling. Obviously, this leads to confusion. We don't know what we're feeling, an emotional state is. It might feel unclear, a bit cloudy, or completely non-existent. Another challenge is heightened or diminished experiences of pain. This is me. Interoceptive differences affect how autistic people experience pain. Now, you may have heightened sensitivity to pain, meaning that physical discomfort feels way more intense to you. That might lead others to thinking, wow, man, like you're being a bit of a baby. Whoa, overreaction. But it's essential to understand that each person's experience of pain is real. It's unique to our own interoception. Now, others may experience the opposite, a diminished sensitivity to pain, which actually makes it harder to notice when you're hurt or unwell. This can have serious consequences on your health, obviously. When you have low pain sensitivity, you might not recognize symptoms of injury, illness, infection, certain conditions that can become worse over time. A classic example for me as an autistic person is I find larger or more significant injuries tend to hurt me less than small little things. What's an example? I could be more sensitive or triggered by like a small paper cut or split, right? Or graze on my fingers, for example, than if I had a serious injury. But on the other hand, sometimes I'm not even aware I've injured myself until later on I realize there's blood. This actually happened today. I was moving something, and the classic autistic proprioception or whatever it is, where you go to do something and you don't realize the time and space and your hands go further than they should. My fingers basically, I guess they went into a cupboard or a drawer and I skinned my finger. You can't see it, but I skinned my finger and it bled. Now it's all liquidy and yuck. I didn't feel it, but it lifted the flap of skin off my finger. I looked down and there's blood all over my hand. But that wasn't at the time, that was minutes later. I'm like making a coffee or something. There was absolutely no understanding or insight into that because I didn't experience the pain signal that I guess others would just get straight away. But I think what's important is it's a contradiction. Interoception challenges influence the way we interact and communicate socially. Obviously, we rely on our ability to recognize and manage both our emotions and those of others in social communication and interaction situations. These challenges make it significantly more difficult to pick up on our own emotional cues. And then if we can't pick up on those, we might not have any chance of picking up on the cues of others. What happens here? Well, it can just lead to rejection, right? Or ostracized or, being by yourself, or you might end up in dangerous, harmful situations. The last challenge before some practical strategies coming up before the end of this video is health and well-being. So if we're struggling to recognize or respond to basic needs, that's going to lead to issues over time. We might eat badly, dehydrated, gastrointestinal gut issues. Whatever it is, whatever we're neglecting, it can trigger chronic health issues. People think, no, don't go to the toilet enough, don't drink enough, don't eat the right food. These are going to pile up. These can cause legitimate conditions, illnesses. They can even lead to mental health issues like anxiety and depression. As autistic people, we can struggle to have any insight into our own basic needs from our own internal signals. We're not sabotaging our lives here. It's important that we understand how different the autistic brain can work, so we can work together with the autistic person in your life and help them get on track with the types of things that their body needs. Here are some practical strategies that you can use to navigate interoception challenges as an autistic person. Number one, let's talk about awareness. Okay, so interoceptive awareness exercises and activities are actually out there. You can do them. They're actually designed to help people become more attuned to their internal signals. There's many different things you can do. You can do things like mindfulness practices, body scans, meditation, guided relaxation techniques, whatever works for you to help you not only notice, recognize, but interpret your own body's signals more effectively. The next strategy is using visual supports and communication tools. Okay, so visual aids, emotion charts, body maps. These things can be really powerful for autistic people to help them recognize our internal states. So emotional charts. What's the deal with that? They can help link physical sensations to emotions. So, for example, let's talk about, a headache or tension in your head. If you feel that kind of headachy, tight head feeling, a chart might help you identify that that is actually connected to stress. Whereas pain in your guts might indicate you need food. The third strategy, establishing routines. As you know, consistency of routines really help autistic people. It can also help autistic people manage interoceptive challenges by providing predictable reminders for basic needs. Okay, so things like eating. You need to drink now. You should go to the toilet. This sounds crazy to some, but trust me, this is actually still important for me. So a regular meal schedule that could help you ensure that hunger doesn't go unnoticed. These routines create external reminders, meaning you have to rely less on your own internal signals that you are sending yourself, but you either are missing or misinterpreting. Another practical strategy you can use is modifying the environment. Look around, create a supportive environment, reduce sensory overload, embrace helpful technology. So remember, if you're feeling overload from the sensory stuff, you're going to be dysregulated. How do you expect to tap into the internal signals you're sending yourselves? It doesn't make a lot of sense. So you can use alerts and alarms and stuff on your phone and things to say, have a drink of water. Do you need to go to the toilet? Why don't you grab a snack? It simply removes an added stress from your daily life, hopefully making you feel less overwhelmed. Another practical strategy is just allowing space for stimming. Don't fight it, judge it, reject it. It's important for autistic people. It keeps us regulated. According to a 2019 study, stimming helps regulate the, I don't know how to say this, autonomic nervous system, is that right? Which affects interoceptive signals. So allowing autistic people to be autistic and to stim helps us focus on our body's signals. We notice things. When we're stimming, we're regulating ourselves. We are soothing ourselves. It helps us manage our internal states more effectively. Number 6, offering understanding and validation. Just like I talked about with stimming, you need to support the autistic person in your life. They clearly have a different way of listening to their inner feelings and signals. So you need to recognize it is actually different. Therefore, there are different expectations, not neurotypical expectations. Expectations that match their different brain. Our response to internal signals, that can also be weird, different, surprising, unfamiliar to you. But they're genuine, they're real, they're not a joke. So just support and validate the unique and different way the autistic person in your life hears, understands, expresses the internal signals they're being sent. Another practical strategy is physical activity. This helps body awareness. Doesn't matter what it is, yoga, Pilates, stretching, walking, they build your body awareness. They help your interoceptive skills. So things that focus on movement and breathing. It lets you tune into you, your muscles, your breath, your heart. This helps you understand your awareness of what's being sent to you internally. It helps you interpret those signals. Another practical strategy is practicing deep breathing and heartbeat awareness. So breathing exercises, heartbeat awareness exercises, things that help you connect with your own body's rhythm. Practice that. Count your breaths. You could put your hand on your chest. You could listen. You can breathe in a quiet room. Take it in. That hopefully, because you're regulated and calm, will help you recognize more signs of stress, more internal signals your body is sending to you. And then hopefully using that to rectify whatever feeling you're going through. Number 9, practice check-in routines. So basically you're encouraging yourself to check in with your body. How you're feeling. That means stop what you're doing and try to tune into how your body is actually feeling. Do you actually feel hungry? Are you thirsty? Do you need to go to the toilet? Is your energy high or low? Are you in pain or are you comfortable? How does my body feel? Am I feeling okay? Do I need anything? Having daily, even regular throughout the day, check-in times with your body can be super beneficial to understanding your own feelings, thoughts, needs, self-awareness, self-care. And the final practical strategy you can use is utilizing movement-based therapies. So OT, occupational therapy. You could do dance therapy. Somatic experiencing can help you connect with your body's sensations. These types of movement-based classes, therapies, sports, activities encourage you to focus on different types of movement and how that impacts your body, your emotions, what signals you're being sent by doing with them. Because remember, this is about increasing your awareness of your body, processing internal sensations and internal signals to live a more productive, empowered, better quality of life. To learn even more about the internal struggles faced by autistic people, check out my video on alexithymia.